from the US, the UK, and Canada. Pressure from all neighboring countries. Problems with neighbors escalating to military movements. What is the secret behind Iran's strength? Why hasn't the US been able to invade it like they did Iraq? Is it because Iran has nuclear weapons? Or is it because of their missiles? And is it true that Iran's missile power is the strongest in the world? That's what we're about to find out right now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. We constantly hear about US sanctions against Iran. But why? First, we need to understand the relationship between Iran and the US. After World War II, in the 1950s, Iran became a battleground for global powers, namely the US and the Soviet Union. In 1953, a coup took place in Iran, orchestrated with the help of the US and the UK. This led to the removal of Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh and the installation of the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, in power. But America's joy didn't last long. In 1979, an Islamic revolution overthrew the Shah's monarchy and established an Islamic regime led by Ayatollah Khomeini. That same year, the US embassy was besieged and hostages were held for over 400 days, escalating tensions between the two countries. Over the years, sanctions and warnings intensified, especially with Iran's development of its nuclear program, despite strong opposition from the US. The sanctions imposed on Iran should have been enough to cripple the country, but they didn't. This is a brief overview of the Iran-US relationship. Now, let's talk about the sources of Iran's strength, which allow it to resist all these sanctions. Iran's natural strength. With an area of 1.648 million square kilometers, Iran is one of the largest countries in the world, ranking 18th globally. Its mountainous terrain makes it difficult for neighboring countries to invade. But is its location truly strategic? Let's look at its geographic location. Geographical location. Iran occupies an excellent strategic location, giving it influence over neighboring countries such as Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and the Gulf states. Iran controls the Persian Gulf's Strait of Hormuz, giving it leverage over global oil movements. Now, let's assess if Iran is resource-rich or resource-poor. Natural resources. Iran is one of the largest countries in terms of energy reserves. It holds around 3 billion tons of iron ore reserves, accounting for about 1.6% of the world's total. Iran currently produces about 5% of the world's consumed oil. It also possesses coal reserves of around 1.2 billion tons, 300 tons of gold, 6 million tons of zinc, 2.6 million tons of lead, and 36,000 tons of uranium. This makes it one of the wealthiest countries in minerals, both regionally and globally. Military power. The Iranian military is the 7th largest in the world in terms of active personnel, with around 610,000 active soldiers and 350,000 in reserves, making Iran a formidable military force. According to Global Firepower, Iran ranks 17th globally out of 145 countries. Let's take a look at the core military capabilities of Iran. The Iranian army consists of 4 main branches: ground forces, naval forces, air forces, air defense forces. Interestingly, the Iranian military also includes an elite force called the Revolutionary Guard Corps, consisting of about 150,000 soldiers. The Revolutionary Guard plays a crucial role in maintaining the regime's stability. The Revolutionary Guard is divided into 5 branches, each with its own tasks. Their most important function is to protect the ruling system. From 1925 until the Iranian Revolution, Iran imported all its weapons from the West. But after the revolution and with US sanctions, Iran began manufacturing its own weapons. The Revolutionary Guard took charge of this mission, receiving continuous state support. Iran has since developed a massive arsenal of weaponry. It now manufactures its own missiles, tanks, armored vehicles, fighter jets, and even radar systems. So, what exactly does the Iranian army possess? Iran has about 4,071 tanks, 69,000 armored combat vehicles, around 580 self-propelled artillery, 2,050 towed artillery units, 1,085 rocket launchers. As for the Iranian Navy, it owns 7 frigates, around 35 submarines, over 100 patrol vessels. Regarding air forces, Iran possesses old warplanes from the Cold War era. Alongside some newer models, they own over 510 fighter jets of various types. Currently, Iran excels in manufacturing drones. Iran's drone and missile power. Iranian drones have been sold to Russia to be used in the Ukraine war. We've also seen Iranian-made missiles and drones being launched at Israel from Yemen. Iran possesses the most powerful missile system in the region, led by the Shahab-2 and Shahab-3 missiles, capable of striking targets 300 to 2,000 kilometers away. Iran has also developed the IRBM, Intermediate Range Ballistic Missiles System, known as Fateh 110, with a range between 3,000 and 5,500 kilometers. Currently, Iran is focusing on advancing its missile technology, emphasizing range, accuracy, and maneuverability, while simultaneously phasing out older systems. According to U.S. military command in 2020, Iran's missile power is the most diverse in the world, not just in the region. And that's without even mentioning Iran's nuclear capabilities. If you want us to cover Iran's nuclear power, let us know in the comments. Iran may not be the strongest country, but it stands as proof that if a nation is determined to achieve something, it can do so. There's no such thing as a country conspiring to stop another nation's progress if the will to succeed exists. That's all for now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. See you next time.